Okay, this is the article that I've chosen for my APA analysis. The title of this paper is "A Long-Term Effect of North Carolina Pre-Kindergarten is Larger in School Districts with Lower Rates of Growth in Academic Achievement." Obviously, this is a journal, so the introduction page. As we move to the first complete page, we find that there is a title page just to address the general formatting. It does look to be double spaced throughout. This looks to be what we would consider a Times New Roman 12-point font, and the paper has 1-inch margins throughout. Starting here on the title page, one thing that immediately stands out is there is a running head. APA format states that student papers do not have to include a running head, but professional papers do. And since this is a professional journal, you will see the running head throughout. Taking a look at the title, APA guideline states that the title should be centered in bold. This title is in the center, but it is not bolded. We should also note that the APA standard for students states that the title should be 2 to 3 lines lower than the top of the paper as here. Also, the author's name should be 2 to 3 lines below where they currently are under the title. APA formatting also states that in a student paper, the page number should start here on the first page, the title page, but we see in this article that the page numbers do not start until the abstract, labeling it page 1. So there should be a page number here in the corner that is missing. Um, Moving on to the abstract, this paper does include an abstract because it is more than 6 pages long. The abstract is double spaced as it should be. It looks to be about 250 to 300 words. And then, just as stated in the manual, the keywords do follow this giving abstract. We do see, once again, this running head. And like I stated previously, there's a page number there at the top. As we continue on through this paper, we will look at what is considered the body of the paper. Here we have the first heading. APA guidelines state that the first heading should be bolded in the center, just like this heading is, but it also lets us know that this heading should be the title of the overall paper and not the word introduction. So this journal article has used introduction instead of the title it's supposed to be. Um, Very quickly, you see where in APA guidelines we are supposed to introduce any acronyms that we use here in this first sentence. Public investments in early childhood education, you see that the author is introducing ECE as a common acronym, or excuse me, abbreviation that they're going to be using throughout. The next thing that we see is this sort of in-text citation where the author is not directly quoting the source, but paraphrasing the source, which is correct based on APA guidelines. We're going to kind of continue through and we're going to scroll down to page 42, which takes us to the first tables and figures that we see in this paper. Now, APA guideline states that the tables and figures should not be where that it is. The tables and figures come in at the end of this paper versus what the APA standard states. It states that tables should come in order after our references and footnotes or endnotes. As we continue here in this paper, going through the tables, we get to page 47 where we have our reference list. References are listed here at the top in the center, just as APA guideline states. It says references, it shouldn't say works cited or anything like that. So the author has that there. One thing that I would like to note is here in the corner, the page number renews again versus an APA format where it stated that the page number should continue. So this author chose to start an additional page number for the references From what I can tell, the references are in alphabetical order as they should. There is a hanging indent for all citations, and it looks as if there are full citations throughout the reference list. As I stated earlier, the references should come before the figures and tables that are listed in regular APA format. For the references, we do run into some appendixes that the author has used to give some additional information, just as it should be stated um, in APA format. That is sort of the full rundown of this article and my critique of its APA